细草为风岸，危墙独耶舟。星垂平野阔，月涌大江流。名气文章著，观音老兵修。飘飘鹤说寺，天地一沙鸥。
Again, the thing that's so interesting, again, for Florida,
When did you start to study Mandarin Chinese?
So I went to Hong Kong in 1987. As soon as I arrived, I was just struck by the written words. So any character that I saw anywhere, I wanted to know what it meant. So I was fascinated by that, and I decided to start learning Chinese. So I actually quit my job in 1989 and started studying Mandarin then.
How did you start to have this fascination for Chinese poems?
So I moved into a house in North Yorkshire, which is by English standards very old. So it's about 850, 900 years old. And I moved in just before Christmas, and I just happened to be reading a poem by Su Dongpo, and it talks about the fact that he was exiled to Dongpo, yeah, and so he moved into a new house, and it had rained and rained that year, and he felt that his house was just like a tiny little fishing boat in a big fog of clouds and water. And that year it happened to have rained a lot where I live. So I kind of felt a connection with that poem, because I just moved into a stone-built house that was very, very old. It's next to a river, and everything was completely damp and soaking. So I took an excerpt of that poem and I just put it into my Christmas cards. And I got a very, very strong reaction from all my friends, and they wanted to know where it was from. So there are a lot of concerns in the Tang and Sung poets that are still very much concerns in the world now. So just one small example, Liu Zongyuan wrote a poem about the problems of excessive logging, cutting too many trees down, which is very, very topical now. You've got, Bai Ji talks about tax evasion, which is a big problem in our society, and social inequalities. Li Bai, the modern word for Li Bai would probably be substance abuse. So Du Fu was a displaced refugee inside China. So, and of course Europe has enormous problems with refugee problems. So I think that a lot of the topics that they were concerned about are still very important today.
How do you see the international impact of Chinese culture, especially now that the world faces uncertainty of conflicts?
不将而居人之兵，善之善之也. So the greatest form of excellence is solving a problem without the need for having conflict. So, I mean, that's just one sentence out of a vast kind of bulk of different ideas. The Chinese have much greater tendency to try to solve problems in an amicable way and understand. I mean, it's 1 + 1 = 3, which is a zero-sum game is kind of the Western view on it. And I do think that Western society, well, it's been proven over the last few decades, are much more quick to use force, and it's a failure.